So Govee just released their two latest flagship LED light strips, and they're really good. But they're using two drastically different LED technologies that each have distinct strengths and weaknesses. First up, we have the Strip Light 2 Pro, which uses the more traditional SMD LED tech that you see most often with commercially released light strips like the Govee M1. These popular strips have individual LEDs spaced apart about every half inch or so, and they're soldered directly on the printed circuit board of the light strip. So at a quick glance, the strip looks a little similar to the M1. But if you look a bit closer, you'll notice that the Strip Light 2 Pro has an additional color processing chip. And as opposed to the M1's RGB 3-way LED structure, the Strip Light 2 Pro is using RGB WW 5-way technology. This means that it has both warm and cool white dedicated chips on board that can be segmented individually in the app, and is using Govee's all-new self-developed color matching system that they're calling Lumen Blend. We'll get into the details surrounding exactly what that means, but the implementation of Lumen Blend within this strip has me ready to declare a serious confession for this product by the end of the video. And then there is the Govee COB Strip Light Pro that's also hitting shelves today as well. At quick glance, given the silicone diffuser structure, you might confuse it with Govee's neon rope light products. But as is in the name, the COB light strip has much more going on under the hood, because it's not using the run-of-the-mill SMD structure. It's actually using chip-on-board technology. This means that it has a gazillion micro LEDs built into the strip itself. Now this tight-knit arrangement within the strip, as well as a phosphogel material that's applied down the center of the entire strip from beginning to end, eliminates visible hotspots to create a more fluid and continuous light source that's both more pleasing and comfortable to the human eye. The bead density also lends itself to being one of Govee's most brightest light strips ever created. For this video, we're not only going to take a look at the intricacies and the details that separates Govee's two latest and greatest light strips, but we'll also take a look at how they compare to a number of Govee's popular light strips and rope light products that are already on the market. I'm also going to be sharing the perfect hack solution for those that want a super clean look for cabinet installations. So the COB ships pre-installed inside of a flexible and effective silicone housing, and it's going to be offered in both 3 and 5 meter lengths. It features 1,260 individual LEDs per meter, and it offers an impressive overall brightness of roughly 1,600 lumens, which is surpassing even that of Govee's floor lamps, which are known to really pack a punch when it comes to brightness. We're looking at 24 volts for the COB, and 28 watts for the 3 meter, and 72 watts for the 5 meter. It offers Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity, as well as support for She Who Should Not Be Named, Google Home, and it has support for Matter as well, though some features and functions may be more limited. Because the COB implements RGB-ICW tech, it can produce a true natural representation of white, which for RGB and RGB-IC can come across as more bluish for cool white and orange or yellowish for warm white. However, the COB's ability to generate natural white temperatures are more limited as compared to the Govee Strip 2 Pro, which is a great segue. The Strip 2 Pro leverages RGB-ICWW to the COB's RGB-ICW, which means that from a color segmentation standpoint, the Strip 2 Pro can do everything that the COB can, but it can also identify and segment between white color temperatures, which is pretty awesome. So you can go down the full temperature range, creating individual temps per segment within the scope of 10 segments per meter, and the result is beautiful natural effects that are both atmospheric and functional. The Strip 2 Pro uses 24 volts as well. The 2 meter length has a wattage of 36 watts and the 5 and the 10 meters 72 watts. As with the M1, it has 60 LEDs per meter and the brightness is rated at 350 lumens. Now because Govee's strip product line is growing at such a fast pace, I put together a quick one-sheeter to illustrate at a glance how the specs for the Pro 2 and the COB stack up against some of their other similar offerings. You'll notice that the COB bead density as compared to the others is insane, and that the Strip 2 Pro is the only product leveraging WW and Lumen Blend. Now this terminology means that the strip has 16-bit color analyzing ability through the use of a new color processing chip that they're calling the G1151. Prior to the evolution of Lumen Blend, 8-bit color processing was the extent. In the features section, you'll see how the Strip 2 Pro has access to colors and patterns that no other current product can emulate. In totality, the Strip 2 Pro offers 120 plus preset lighting effect scenes, which is wild. Now looking further down the one-sheeter, you'll notice that there is no brightness rating for the strip with covers, the desk neon rope, or the neon rope 2, and that's because lumens are generally measured in white light, and neither of these products can produce true white light. Now this is difficult to illustrate through the lens of a camera that's using white balance processing along with a ton of other variables in post and upload. But here's a few side-by-sides to give you an idea of how both color temperature and brightness varies between these two light strips. Here we're looking at the maximum warm color temperature for the COB and the Strip 2 Pro, as it compares to the M1 and the Strip Lite with covers kit. Hopefully this is clear enough for you to make out on camera because it's much more defined in person. Now we'll take the brightness up to 100%, and I think it starts to become even easier to see some differences. Here's 50% cool white temperature across the board. And finally, we'll take a look at 100% overall brightness. You guys let me know in the comments if you're able to make out the improvements for the new strips. Again, this is much more defined in person. So at a glance, here's the packaging and everything included for the Govee Strip 2 Pro. We have a handful of strip support clips if you need it, and a couple of clips for cable management. The AC power brick, which is separate from the plug itself, so it won't take up a ton of outlet space. The controller, which has a 4-pin attachment for the strip. A sticky pad, which I assume is for the power brick. And finally, the light strip itself, which ships inside of a ribbon case that looks very similar to the M1. Now, one thing I asked Govee about is a diffuser solution for this product, and it sounds like they won't be offering a channel kit for installations where the strip light won't be hidden, which I do think is a missed opportunity. So I actually experimented with installing the Strip 2 Pro using the diffusers that ship with the strip cover kit, and the result is a beautiful wraparound installation for my upper cabinets with 0 hotspots. The diffusion is beautiful, and with the inner and outer right angle pieces, you can create some very clean and professional looking installs. It's just a bummer that you basically have to buy this separate kit if you don't already have pieces lying around from a previous install, as I did. Anyway, shifting over to the COB light strip, here's everything included inside of the box. We have the power brick, which is attached to the outlet prongs for the 3-meter length, but separate for the 5-meter length. You get a few cable management clips and an end cap that attaches to the silicone diffuser in the event that you need to cut it. And lastly, the light strip itself. It has a very narrow and flexible design, much more than the neon rope lights, and it makes installing it over uneven surfaces, as I did over my 3D wall panels, super easy. You can see that there are cuttable indicators along the strip every 8 centimeters. Anyway, installing the COB strip is pretty hassle-free. Simply peel back the adhesive cover and apply. Honestly, the hardest part is ensuring that you apply it as straight as possible. I recommend getting a leveler ruler for the best results. So I would say that the COB strip light's greatest feature is its incredible lumen output, because 1600 lumens for a decorative smart light is nothing to snuff at. When Govee first talked about this product, they said that it could be used for not only ambiance and mood lighting, but for illumination for working and getting stuff done. I thought this was a pretty bold claim at the onset until I installed it up on my wall and watched as it completely engulfed my 8-foot-long desk in natural and accurate warm, soft, daylight, and cool white temperatures. As a content creator, I was very excited about this because I'm always looking for ways to properly illuminate my shooting space when the sun goes down. And I think that a handful of these strategically placed around will really help to get the job done. Regarding lighting customization for the COB, you can DIY your own effects, or you can select from those uploaded by the community. There's a finger sketch feature as well to customize more than 30 independent sections on the strip. You can also use the relative brightness slider to adjust brightness by segment, or you can adjust the overall brightness by using the top brightness slider. 3-meter length will retail for $99.99, while the 5-meter will come in at $149.99. But definitely check out the description for additional pricing details and/or savings. Now, switching gears back to the Strip 2 Pro, as seen in the side-by-sides, this is not the brightest light strip that you can find, but the 16 color bit lumen blend tech puts it in a class all on its own. I mean, you really have to see it in person for yourself to really understand how good this light strip is. The first thing you must do after installing it is jump over into the Lumen Blend dedicated scenes tab within the Govee Home app. Guys, these scenes are so good. I have no idea why Govee placed them all the way in the back like an afterthought. These are the star of the show, and in my opinion are better than pretty much all of the other traditional scenes that you can find with older strips. The patterns and color blends are elegant, sophisticated, and mature. Notice how the strip leverages all 5 color LEDs available to it, merging warm, soft, daylight, and cool temps with RGB, producing color blends and tones that you simply can't find with other Govee light strips. Some scenes will kind of pull out a white temperature so that it's predominant across several segments. and then that white will slowly seep into the surrounding RGB, creating beautiful salmon and earthy tones unlike anything I've ever seen. I really hope Govee can extend this Lumen Blend tab with even more scenes because it's truly something to behold in person. The speed and the rhythm is just right. The scenes are not too slow and not too overwhelming either. Now at the beginning of this video, I said that I have a confession, and that's that the Govee 2 Strip Pro has become my favorite DreamView supported product to date. You see, the 16-bit chipset does wonders for translating TV color data. You can see in these examples just how well it mimics skin and earthy tones. And what's even more impressive is how fluid the color transitions are. Some Govee products can get a bit jittery or flickery with transitions when used for DreamView, and it can make them feel out of sync with the primary TV backlight. I had no idea that this strip will perform this strongly for this application, and now I'm brainstorming ways I can incorporate it into my main setup over at my TV. I don't know how, but I gotta make it work, especially with something really cool coming down the pipeline. Anyway, in addition to the dedicated Lumen Blend Scene tab, the Strip 2 Pro also features a unique illumination section. Inside, there's a handful of preloaded color temperature scenes to get you started, but you can customize these to your liking and even create new ones. Another huge pro I wanted to point out for this particular light strip is the dimming capability. If you're at all familiar with the Govee ecosystem, you know that a good deal of scenes with various products don't dim in brightness very well, even with a setting of 1%. But the Strip 2 Pro dims really good across all 122 preset scenes, making it ideal for bedrooms and sleeping. In addition to that, the Strip 2 Pro also supports the DIY and finger sketch customizations as with the COB. I think my biggest gripe overall is that Govee won't be offering any diffuser channels for them, even if sold separately, which I know they typically don't, but I thought they did such a good job with the Strip with Covers kit that I was really hoping to see them take a stab at manufacturing more. But there are a lot of good ones out there if you do your research. Just make sure that the channels are wide enough to support your particular light strip. The 2-meter Strip 2 Pro is going to retail for $59.99, while the 5-meter is going to come in at $99.99, and the largest 10-meter size will come in at $149.99. But I really want to know what you guys think about Govee's latest 2 light strip products. Which are your favorite, the COB or the Strip 2 Pro? Any specific questions or follow-ups, make sure to drop them down below. And as always, thanks for watching and supporting the channel. And I will see you guys in the next one.